Welcome to the Howl, where we get to go in depth with students, hear their stories, and you get a front row seat to learn about our community. I'm your host, Jacob Gerton, the Associate Director of Admissions here, and today we'll get to know Shion, a 9th grade international student from Japan who came here 3 years ago and has grown immensely. We will get to know Shion's experience as an international student and how the connections he has made have helped his language acquisition and adjusting to his new environment. Without further ado, let's howl! All right, good morning, Shion. How are you doing?
I'm doing really good today. How are you?
Good. I'm doing great. It's bright and early. Have you ever done anything like this before, Shion?
I actually never done it before.
All right, cool. Well, this is third time for me, so third time's a charm. It's going to be the best one yet. Each of these podcasts are great in their own way. But for you today, I'm really interested in talking about the international student experience. I've known you for a while. And actually, your first year on dorm was one of my first years on DGB, and you moved in. You had the double all to yourself.
Yeah. That was a good memory.
Had all that space. So I want to get into a little bit about your experience as an international student today, and how you've grown, and your English language acquisition. So we'll talk a little bit about everything from the beginning, and then a little bit to this year, and all the exciting things that have been going on for you in your 9th grade year. So I guess just kind of give us a brief background about yourself and talk to us about that first year when you were away from home in a new environment, new language, and totally in a new experience. Tell us about that experience.
So the first year, right, 3, I was not great English speaker, as Mr. Gurdon knows. So it was new environment. Everything was new for me. Then it was really kind of tough situation I was in because I was not able to communicate to people. But the something we had is proctor. Those proctors, I remember Mark Zhu helped me a lot. He was a really good proctor. That's why I'm in the same role as him right now.
Yeah.
This is one of the things I got really helped in the first year.
Yeah. To remind me, was there another Japanese student on our dorm? I can't remember.
Oh, there was one student.
Was it Yuma or?
It's Rinto.
Rinto. Okay, so Rinto was in the dorm that year. So.
And Kai too.
Oh, okay, great. Then we had a bunch of kids. So there was some familiarity there that must have been nice as well.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, what were some of the keys other than the proctor, or maybe what did Mark do specifically to help you adjust to that new environment?
So, especially like when you're giving me instruction, he helped me not translate but make it into like more easier words to understand. That was really helpful for me because my vocab was not as much. Yeah, I didn't have as much, so that was really helpful.
Yeah. So you're coming from Japan.
Yes.
And what was one of the main reasons that you decided to come to school in the United States?
While I was in Japan, I was actually like spoiled by environment. I wasn't a good student. I was not being a good student. So I decided to change my environment and then try something new to like make myself better as a person.
Oh, good for you. I never would have guessed that. Yeah, you're always doing things the right way. So part of the reason why I asked you to come to the podcast today. So you talked about the language barrier. Emotionally, and like how did that feel? Maybe sometimes not being understood or not understanding things. Was that difficult to adjust to, like in an emotional way? Did you ever get frustrated?
Yeah, I was like first year I was upset about it because communicating with others it's really a fun thing to do for sure. But if you're not able to do
you're very much a people person.
Yeah. So if I'm not able to do, I kind of feel sad about it.
Yeah.
So that was a bit tough.
So thousands and thousands of miles away from home, new language, not able to communicate that well. When you needed a place to reset or feel safe or, just to, I don't know, feel a little bit at home, or what were some of the things that helped you reset or made you feel a little bit more comfortable or at ease?
Something I did was like, I'll actually call my parents or my older brother. But at the same time, I do my like body stretching, so like physical therapy.
Yeah.
So that was really helpful.
All right, cool. Awesome. And when it comes to where we are now and all the stuff that you've like academically, there's a lot of stuff that we do at Rectory, like IIP or like our language arts program. There's a lot for students that are speaking English as a second language. What were some of the things that helped you most academically that Rectory does to improve your English?
It was like IIP was the best for me because other I know that other school doesn't have like IIP program.
Mm,
Like they other school doesn't have like learning center that
yeah.
we have. So that was the best part. Like improve my English, and then it was really good.
Who was your learning specialist the first year?
When I was seventh grade, it was Miss Diorio
Uh-huh.
and then Mr. Richardson.
Nice. Oh, those are great ones. So, for those of you who don't know, the IIP is the Individualized Instruction Program, and IIP is a great space in the Learning Center where all of our learning specialists get to go. And hint, hint, there might be a question later about the Learning Center. So, just to keep your mind fresh, there'll be a trivia question later. But the Learning Center is a really special space, and each learning specialist has their own unique background, and a lot of them with English. What are some of the things that Miss Diorio did with you to help you feel more comfortable and get used to language?
So something we did was sometimes like I get bored really easily. So something she had is more like some kind of activity. So I'm able to feel like fun about learning. So that was really helpful. Or sometime we have like kind of day off
Yeah.
to like get rest. That was really like helped me because I'm a really lazy person. So
Oh, come on. Don't sell yourself short. I think you're not too lazy. If you decided to come here to a new school and a new environment, that seems pretty ambitious to me. So, how about outside of IIP, right? IIP is like 1/7 of your classes, right? There's 7 classes, and IIP is just one. So, how did it support all your other classes, and how did you feel going throughout the day academically outside of just with Miss Diorio?
So I had my seventh grade year. I had language arts and English class. I had same teacher, but she's Miss Uglo. The Miss Uglo helped me a lot because she find a Japanese version of the book we're reading in the class. Then I read that and then also an English version at the same time. Then I can figure out what word is like
Nice.
meaning what. Then that was really helpful. And then for language arts, she's doing a lot of support. So each teacher is like more close to the student. That was the like best part I found
Yeah.
about.
So one thing that to kind of provide some context for listeners or anybody watching, language arts is a little bit different than like an English class,
Yeah.
right? Because we offer some world languages, but for you, maybe that wasn't the best fit when we're still, the main goal is English, right? So we didn't want to take on a third language. So you'd have your regular English class, and you'd have language arts. And what was the difference between English and language arts? Was language arts more like vocab or speaking, where English was like novels? What was the main difference between the two?
So something we did in language arts is more speak more fluent or like reading. So reading is really important, like doing any quiz or test or like reading questions to like understand what kind of stuff we're reading is really important.
Yeah.
Then like it's really hard to read really fast,
Yeah.
but we need to keep practicing to be able to do that. So that's was something we did in language arts.
Yeah. So during the academic day, there's English, there's language arts, there's IIP, a lot of different ways, to ingrain yourself in the language. But outside of class now, what ways do you think, your social life or weekend activities, how do you think that played a role in your growth, like as an international student?
Oh, so
And it doesn't have to be limited to English either. So also just like, making friends and socializing in general.
for socializing, sometimes we go to off campus, and something I was super excited about, like trampoline park
Yeah.
or like laser tag. Those are my like hobbies. Then like, so if I do those tricks, like people will like kind of surprised or like about it. Then that was like makes me kind of happy.
Yeah.
Then from that connection, I made friends and stuff. So like to able to share like same hobby is really important to make a lot of friends. And then in weekend we have a lot of opportunities like even the a pavilion, I can play soccer. Soccer is my hobby, or basketball, or any sort.
Yeah.
So we can like easily make friends.
Yeah, I think that's one of the really great things about the weekend activities is that everyone's trying new things, and when everyone's trying new things together, you bond around that. So, um, what has looking back after 3 years, or 2.5, going on 3, you'll be graduating this year, but is there any significant memory or something that you're super grateful for at this time?
Oh, I believe it's the my student council speech.
Mm.
It was really kind of embarrassing, but
I remember that auditorium was cheering for you.
yeah, but enjoyed it. It
Yeah.
was really great. Like I don't think I'm able to have those opportunity as like there's like 200 people in front of me like staring at me and I'm like presenting like
Yeah.
that's like kind of unable to do and like
Yeah.
other
And that was the end of last year,
yeah it
right?
was.
So that was like 2 full years after your experience in rectory. Could you have done that in your first year?
There's no way I'm
Yeah.
able to do that.
That's pretty cool. So it's almost like the accumulation of all this hard work over the last 2 years, and now you're ready. There's student council, and I'm going to speak in front of everybody and rile up the crowd. And now going into your ninth grade year, what have you felt like? First year maybe get used to the language. Second year maybe we get to feel a little bit more comfortable. What do you think this ninth grade year is? If there's like a theme for like what the ninth grade is for you this year?
What the ninth my ninth grade year will be
Right, you're preparing for secondary schools, and we hear Memorial Bell ringing off in the campus. I don't know if that picks up, but everybody else is time to get up, and we're already here. So, but yeah, that ninth grade year, I guess, what purpose do you think it serves for you? Like, what is the general theme? Getting ready for secondary schools, or getting ready for, these leadership roles? Like, what is the main theme that you think you've taken from this year?
moving on to other environment. So I was here for like 3 years. I was here like a lot, like long, and I have a lot of memories, but time is limited, so I need to move on. So believe this year it's for preparing for new environment and then taking all the opportunity I can take.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, we're super excited for you. I actually just wrote your recommendation, so maybe that's why I chose you this morning because it was fresh on my mind. But I am so glad that I was able to talk to you and hear about the last 3 years, and yeah, just been having a lot of fun with you, Shion. And you're always a lot of joy, and I think people get that and they understand that, and that's probably why everyone was cheering for you during your speech. Is there one person in your life that you want to thank right now, that since you have an opportunity to do so?
I will 100% thank my mom because she's the one always supported me. And then she gave me the opportunity to go United States, which was like my turning point in my life. It changed me a lot as a person. So I need to thank my mom. And then she was always kind. She always gave me opportunity to choose something.
Well, thank you so much for the time today. We have 2 more sections, so we're actually going to transition into our trivia period. Okay?
Right.
All right. So I have a bunch of questions here. I don't know how if they're hard or easy. I think one of them's pretty hard, but we'll see. We'll try and get 3 right. Okay, I feel pretty confident in you. So 3 right in order to win some Baker's dozen. All right. You're gonna get Baker's dozen every way, but don't tell anyone it's dozen. All right. So there are first one. There are 4 faculty apartments in the new girls' dorm. Do you know which current faculty member one of them is named after? This was done last spring at the name dedication. It is a female faculty member.
I saw it. No, it's not Miss Bradley, right? No, it's not Miss Bradley.
No, she does live in one of them, but Miss Bradley did used to live with this
Yeah.
teacher on her old dorm. So there's a little hint.
That's really kind of tough question. I don't live in that dorm.
I know. That's why I started with it. That's a really tough question.
I'll pass this one.
Okay, no problem. So, next one. Name 2 faculty members that are new this year.
New this year.
Yeah, new this year.
Okay. This year.
You got this.
I think I got it. I know there's new 2 science teacher. One
Yeah.
is Mr. Mavani,
Yep.
which is 9th grade physics class teacher.
Shout out Mr. Mavani.
And then Mr. Bordua,
Yes.
the sports coach.
Yes.
He was my
absolutely.
coach as well.
Oh, good. Yeah, so we got Mr. Bourdois and we got Mr. Mavani.
Yeah.
Great. All right. Well, that one's correct. So you play in the concert, right?
Mm-hmm.
All the musical. What instruments do you play?
Oh, I don't play actually instruments at Rectory, but I take lesson for guitar. Now I used to play piano and trombone.
Okay, then I think you've been in one of these concerts. But what's the name of the fall concert, the first concert of the year?
Prism concert.
All right, 2 for 2. Do you want to go back to your first question, or do you want to go on to another one?
I go on. I don't know the first question.
All right, let's see. Is there more or less than 200 kids at Rectory?
More.
All right, that's 3. That's correct. Great job. You win. You have won the trivia contest, so congratulations. All right, Shion?
Yes.
Well, the last thing that we do, all right, this is something that Mr. Oakes might have been alluding to setting up this morning, but we're going to get a little loud. Okay, so don't be afraid to be loud.
Okay.
That's the one tip of advice I have to say. So, the Rectory School Wolves, this is the Howl podcast. I don't know if you've listened to the past 2, but if you know, we're starting a tradition that we have to howl for each other. All right, so we're going to do our best howl. So, howl like a wolf. All right.
Okay.
So, we'll back ourselves up so we don't break any microphones or break any glass. But I'm going to let you start. Okay, so whenever you want, you can give us a good howl, and that's how we'll end the podcast, okay?
I'll start.
All right, well, thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
That was a great morning, and it was a good conversation. Even getting to know you really well, sometimes you don't get to hear all that stuff. So even I learned some things. So I'm sure people will like listening and watching that, and can definitely take something away from your experience. All right, thanks, Shion.
Thank you.
If you want to find out more about Rectory School, call the admissions office at 860-928-1328, or you can reach us at admissions@rectoryschool.org. Thanks for listening.